I see you marrying a corpse, living in a grave.
The vampire can assume very many different forms at will. Sometimes it appears as a bat, and sometimes as a small cloud of swirling vapor. In this way, it can move unseen among its enemies.
Son of Dracula, searing the screen with new terror in this weird tale of the living dead who rise from the grave at night to prey on unsuspecting victims. With Louise Albritton, Robert Page, Evelyn Ankers, Frank Craven, J. Edward Bromberg, and Lon Chaney as the new Count Dracula, you'll shudder at the screen's most fascinating woman vampire, luring men with cold beauty and the promise of immortality.
Count Alucard is immortal. Through him, I attained immortality. Through me, you will do the same.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings at a single bound, this amazing stranger from the planet Krypton, the Man of Steel, Superman. Possessing remarkable physical strength, Superman fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice, disguised as a mild-mannered newspaper reporter, Clark Kent.
And I still say Manhattan rightfully belongs to my people.
Possibly, but just what do you expect us to do about it?
You have a newspaper. Publish the truth. Have the island vacated immediately.
It's fantastic.
Why, that's ridiculous.
Ridiculous? Maybe modern science will make you think differently.
I've never heard anything so absurd.
You know, from the look in his eyes, I'd almost believe he was in earnest.
No, he's just a harmless crank.
Come ahead, Miss Lane. You wouldn't want to miss this story, I'm sure. Just a precautionary measure. Now, Miss Lane, get ready for the greatest story of your career.
Come on, Kent. Let's get out of here.
This looks like a job for Superman.
A girl is still down there.
You know, Lois, the old island looks just as good as ever.
That's right, Clark. Thanks to Superman.
exactly as I say. Step down from there. I'd always found the female of the species was more responsive to electrical impulse than was the male. It's fortunate that we met here. Shall I show you how it was done? Stop!
And ghouls, and welcome to the Friday Night Scream Stream. I am your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very, very, very good friend, Mr. Fresh Rogan. How are we doing tonight, Fresh? Whoa.
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
You are doing very well. I am doing fantastic. I hope everybody out there is doing fantastic. Thank you for joining us tonight on another Friday where we're enjoying some public domain horror while we just kick back, chill, and, you know, again, just enjoy our Friday evening. I hope everybody's had a good week, a good hard-earned Friday that we're kicking back, watching movies, drinking a little bit, just, you know, doing what we do.
Yeah, I hope your week was very hard. Yeah,
very hard.
It's ridiculous.
Whoa.
I hope you had a very tough week and you hated it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's that goes without saying. We're very negative here on this stream, where it's, you know, we hope you had the worst week possible, and we got a terrible, awful movie for you tonight. No, I'm actually very excited.
We hate you.
Yeah, you guys are terrible. No. You guys are awesome because and we're watching a movie I haven't seen before. So for all I know, it is awesome. It's Indestructible Man from 1956 with Lon Chaney Jr. So we got a heavy hitter for the first time in like a while on this season. I mean, we've at least the last 4 movies ago we had a cameo from Jack Nicholson, but he's not really a horror movie heavy hitter. So we got Chaney Jr. in the house. You see I'm wearing my this Frankenstein that's on my shirt is Lon Chaney Jr.'s Frankenstein. He is, if you don't know, Lon Chaney Jr. is kind of the king of the monsters. He played them all at Universal. So this is a later stage movie. And Sweet Feet's in the house. Sweet Feet, yeah, you're in for a treat. Sweet Feet's always in for a treat when he comes to the Scream Stream, because we, you know, again, like this is a... I did a lot of research on this movie. I bought a book, so I have some source material for the facts tonight. It's written by the guy who wrote the Poverty Row horror book that we have, Tom Weaver, and it's called Scripts from the Crypt, and it's the screenplay for tonight's movie with all these facts, like essays and interviews with the people who made it and all this cool stuff. So, yeah, so I got a lot of cool, kind of weird, interesting facts, but it seems like a lot of, like, you know, a lot of indie filmmaking love went into this movie. So it should be fun, should be exciting. So I hope
exciting.
exiting. I hope you guys are ready to get scared. It's a monster movie. So we got some monster action in the house tonight. Again, Chaney, king of the monsters. So, if we, and again, this movie's called Indestructible Man. So, I mean, obviously, your strengths are going to be put to the test because it's not a perfect movie. It's one of the things I found. There's tons of plot holes and there's all this stuff. We'll get into why those things happen, but it's fun. This, of course, Mystery Science Theater did it. That's par for the course on this show. But I think they had all. Yeah, I mean, right? It's we're just we're just a ripoff. We're a complete ripoff. Fresh is, you can't, we've talked about Fresh needs to maintain his anonymity because he works for the government, and even then I've just said too much. You shouldn't, there's a reason that we try to preserve Fresh's identity. So, his face is too beautiful. Honestly, that's what it is. If you saw his face, it would break a webcam. Like, it couldn't.
Yeah,
like, it would.
I'm on the run right now.
Yeah, well,
that's really what he's trying to say. I'm on the run.
Fresh is a man of 1,000 personas, much like the father of the star of tonight's movie was the man of 1,000 faces. Fresh is the man of 1,000 identities, and he can't. He's not going to let us see. He can't give away the one that he's using right now because then his cover's blown, right? Like,
yeah, I'm only pseudo-anonymous because I have a pseudonym. To be truly anonymous, I would be nobody.
Yeah, you want to be out there. That's why he's doing this show right now. He wants to be out and about. Yeah, I mean,
Sylarn, I don't know what that is, but yes, I am a member. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's the, terrifying. You should be terrified. Everybody should be terrified.
I don't like that.
Oh, like that.
Just kidding. I'm not a part of whatever that is. I'm scared.
Like that.
I don't like that shit.
Sylarn. God, it's so weird. So my chat is like, Sylarn and Sweet Feet's, like, their names are definitely different colors, but they're just two different shades of red. And one is just slightly darker than the other. So I was
if you just refresh, it'll read.
That is
what their colors are.
That is so cool. That's so
random.
Wild. Yeah, it's so funny. They're like just Sylarn's just a shade darker. Got me tripping.
You're getting a little bit of interference. I think that's on your end.
Yeah, it's definitely on my end. It's definitely got to be on my end because we're just it's a disaster over here. I don't need to tell you. It's an emergency, just like tonight's movie. It's a little bit of a crime thriller as well. It's a horror movie, but it's got elements of sci-fi, and it's told in like a police procedural style. So yes, if there's like a lot of business going on at certain times, just know that they're trying to make the police procedural atmosphere very strong, right? This is the time of Dragnet, when Dragnet was a popular TV series. So I think that's why they went in this direction. It was shot in 1954. It wasn't released until 1956. So yeah, if you hear any of that, that's just, what are we going to do? I mean, that's Hollywood, baby. But yeah, again, about crime, Lon Chaney Jr. plays a criminal who's put to death and then is brought back to life. And he's a monster, obviously, of course.
So this is just Demolition Man.
Yeah, it's any kind of, I mean, again, like the trailer that we saw right before the credits, like during the pre-roll, the second one, it's got a lot of similar plot points. Chaney's character is completely different, but that's a similar movie, and there were a lot of movies kind of around this time and some before this that were like criminal goes, kind of is a guinea pig for a scientist and is turned into some kind of, mad experiment that cannot be controlled. Karloff had a movie like that. Like, it's just, no fat chat, Sylarn. I'm sure you said that a while ago. No fat chat. Yeah, is that your new show, Sylarn? Is that what you're you're calling your live stream the Fat Chat. I can see it. No, I'll be honest. I put on a few pounds over the holidays. I have no shame about this. Much like Mr. Chaney, in his later years, which this is a later stage period, film for Lon Chaney Jr. It's kind of, it's okay. You put on weight for whatever reason is what it is. You have to embrace it. But once it gets warm, that's my time. I start shedding off my winter weight, and I get in that, summer shape because I'm around water all the time. You can't, what are you gonna do? We saw Spider Baby in season 3. You were on for that one, right? Fresh?
Spider Baby? I don't believe so.
I can't remember. So that was the first Lon Chaney Jr. movie that we watched on the stream. Were you on for A Hunchback of Notre Dame, the silent movie?
Yes, I was on for that one. Yeah,
that was Lon Chaney Sr.
Of course I was on for the silent movie.
You're always on for the silent movies. You just happen to... Spider Baby is a great, late stage Lon Chaney Jr. movie, which if you haven't seen it, go see it. This is No, Sylar, we already did that. No, we're not doing Spider Baby again. You don't have to worry. No.
Yeah, we're doing Spider Baby. Actually, now that you said that, now we're doing it.
All right, I'm pulling up. No, Sylar, it's Indestructible Man. It's Indestructible Man. I haven't seen it. It should be fun. Yeah, but in that, Chaney is a sympathetic character. Here, he's a straight up, he's the monster. He's the villain. And, at the very beginning, he's a criminal being put to death, which is why, if you saw on our Instagram page, every week, Evan, who's not here with us this evening, he usually brings us a cocktail to pair with the evening's film, a little segment which we call What Were You Drinking? And Fresh, you're in the way. There we go. What were you drinking?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me back up. Let me get behind. Okay.
What are we drinking tonight? I'll tell you. Evan and I usually do a bit there. He's not here. We do miss Evan. Yes. Shout out to Evan. I didn't even mention, this is the first time I've mentioned that, Evan's not with us tonight, but we'll, obviously.
Shout out Evan.
He's our dog. He's our boy, Dog Pound.
He's our dog, bro.
He is. You gotta give him the shout out. But Evan usually brings us the cocktail.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna just hit them all randomly like a 6-year-old.
Well, that's the only way you're gonna learn. It's the only way you're gonna figure out what's what. But yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to hit that first.
Yeah, well, they both worked. So
got that dog in him.
And he does, yeah. Got that dog in him.
He's dogging.
Well, aren't we all? We are all dogging. No, so that's why if you've seen the title of the cocktail for this evening, it's the lethal injection, and so if that seemed aggressive, it's going off the plot of the movie tonight. It's nothing, it sounds aggressive, but it's actually a fairly tame drink. And guess what? I just realized I didn't grab the liquor from the cabinet, so I don't think
we're doing a virgin whatever the drink is.
I guess so. I'm really not going to interrupt the stream.
Just a bunch of grenadine and juice.
Yeah. Maybe I'll wait. I'll grab it during the break. It'll be fine. I got plenty of beer to tide me over. So you'll get the What Were You Drinking segment in the middle of the show. Evan's not here, so it's just we're switching it up completely.
Switched up, baby. Come on.
No, Sylar, that's not true. I don't know, and it's not Michelob. It's tonight. It's some Miller Lights.
He pours O'Doul's into a Michelob.
No, I don't do that. It's not
yes,
true.
Yes, I saw you doing that. You put a Mickey O'Doul's in your fucking
one time
in your Michelob.
No, I've never done such a thing. I would never do such a thing. But shout out, hey, you like O'Doul's to each their own. I don't hate on that.
He does do that. He really does. I've seen him do it.
I've got some Millers and I've got one penny beer. That's Fresh's favorite beer that I drink.
You call it the penny beer?
I call it the penny beer now because it's this beer that I get that Fresh has basically said tastes like pennies. and because it's so like light and crisp and like nothing. It's really weird, and I'm not seeing it sold as much anymore. So I guess it's, you know,
imagine that
penny beer, just not a thing. Maybe if they started selling it for a penny, then it would get.
Well, it tastes like pennies, and Garrett likes it. So all I'm saying is,
it's just
he's really a ladies' man.
It's just, well, yeah. I mean, it's a light beer. I hope it hasn't killed anybody, but
because it killed people. Why are we just making up stuff?
I see. Luckily, I haven't named the beer, so luckily we aren't slandering anybody yet. Yes. Yeah. Well, the one time that
times are tough.
Couldn't tell the difference between the green, very pungent smelling isopropyl and you know, I just thought it was like some St. Patrick's Day beer that, you know, maybe was still good, and maybe maybe alcohol
happens to the best of us.
It does.
Happens to the best.
What are you gonna do?
What can I say?
You know, and I mean, that's a thing that we will broach tonight, obviously, is alcohol, because we're talking about Lon Chaney Jr., who a lot of his career is kind of, you know, he's kind of looked on, you know, a certain way because he had a reputation for being a heavy drinker, like even like when he was working. Like, now a lot of people always said he's very respectful and very like responsible, and a lot of people said a lot of good things about him during the making of tonight's film, but he still, you know, apparently the director said that Chaney said, hey, don't write any new lines or anything for the script after lunch, because after lunch, you know,
we're gonna be fucked up after lunch.
Yeah,
baby.
and apparently somebody that was a friend of the director said, like, after lunch, Chaney like could barely stand. Like they, you know, and I mean, luckily his character apparently doesn't talk very much. He has a few lines. So
imagine like the first half of the movie is fine, and the second half he's just like, I don't give a fuck.
Well, it's, you know, it's, yeah, I mean, people will try to, like, there is one, like, he did a live television appearance where people are pretty sure he's drunk and they think that he was mistaking the live show for a dress rehearsal, because he's like picking up the prop furniture that was apparently supposed to be smashed, and then he's just putting it down. And at one point he says, like, I'm saving this for later. I like watched it this week, and he does like mumble something and it kind of sounds like, I'm saving this for later. You know, it's like, okay, like you're not, but it was still like actually a decent performance. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's the thing. Regardless of whether he was drinking or not, I mean, the man was, he was a hardworking actor. And so I want to dispel, so that's one thing later tonight. I want to dispel some of the myths about him, you know, as far as like, you know, again, he lives in his father's shadow. And so a lot of people kind of write Lon Chaney Jr. off, and they write off a lot of his big monster performances, but I'm a fan. I can't, you know, can't help myself. You know, there are a lot of, yes, and Cylon's right, there's a lot of big drinkers in Hollywood, and Lon Chaney Jr. was certainly not the worst. He wasn't good, but you know, God knows, we're just talking about horror actors. You don't even want to get into like the messiness that is like Hollywood, like, because again, people just saw what the press and like what everybody, you know, the illusions, kept all the messy stuff behind the scenes. So we don't even know how crazy it was, and I don't know if we want to know. But I do.
We don't know that we even want to know.
No,
that's the thing.
That's the thing.
It's hard to know whether you want to know or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sometimes you just can't make up your mind, and you just you just got to sit on it sometimes. You know. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting. So this is, you know, again, Lon Chaney Jr. Actually, like, from what I've read, this is like supposed to be a pretty good performance from him, and it's supposed to be a fun movie. And so, again, first time watch for me, so I'm excited for it. Anything before we get into it tonight, Fresh?
I got nothing.
Are you sure you got nothing?
Somebody's got some. I can't think of anything.
Okay. All right. Well, then, on that note, without further ado, we're going to get into the exciting beginning of Indestructible Man right now. So this is, again, came out in 1956, and it's the music
starring
of
Lon Chaney.
Yeah. So Lon Chaney kind of was alternately credited Lon Chaney Jr., and then sometimes just Lon Chaney. And he didn't like that. His name was not Lon Chaney. Like, his name was Creighton Chaney. And he didn't... And that's like to basically start kind of dispelling this. He didn't want to be an actor, man. Like, you know, he that was the work that was offered to him. You'll see the screenplay, Vi Russell and Sue Bradford, written by two women, and the director helped, or maybe wrote some of it. Not quite clear. But it's interesting to have a script from this time that's written by two women. So
I was dictating the wrap up on the
and they helped a lot in the production as well.
I'm Lieutenant Dick Chasen. This hadn't been a routine case, and to find the answer, I've had to put a lot of little pieces together. It began on the day most cases can be called closed. It was the day before the butcher was to be executed.
Right, Silent.
He was visited by his attorney, Paul Lowe, in the death house.
Right,
fiction. First meeting, the Butcher Benton case took
so
its first
stupid.
switch.
Yep.
Only. The evidence against you was so strong, the governor turned out...
Even if it was true, what they wrote, it became fiction when they wrote it.
You started railroading me from the beginning of the trial. And now you're still trying to throw me curves.
Look, I don't blame you for being edgy, but get this straight.
You trying to throw curves,
I
bro?
didn't double-cross you. I never worked hard.
You trying to throw curves at me? Dog, stop curving me.
You were a fool, Butcher. If you hadn't tried to double-cross Squeamy Ellis and Joe Marcelli, they wouldn't have turned state's evidence against you.
Squeamy.
But you had to get greedy. You wanted to keep the whole $600,000 for yourself. Well, the boys got sore.
We got some money on the table.
It was all your idea.
Whose $600,000 is this?
You hired us. When you found out I'd staged the money, you decided it was time for me to die. You got those two crumbs to turn state's evidence on me. You stinking rotten mouthpiece.
We both know that isn't true, Butcher.
Stinking
rotten mouthpiece of what?
Giving me the money.
Rotten mouth.
Not gonna do you any good.
Yeah, it's
you rotten, dirty mouthpiece.
Knowing that none of you three crumbs are gonna spend it.
What about you? Don't you owe her something? You tell me where the money is, I'll see that she gets your share.
I've got a different idea. I'm gonna kill you.
Got a different idea.
And Joe.
Jesus.
Then I'll take care of even myself.
You sick.
Damn, what a savage.
He's ready to throw hands, bro.
Remember what I said. I'm gonna get you. All three of you.
Actually, pretty understated from Lon Chaney right here, honestly.
So long, dead man.
Dead man.
I said, I'm gonna kill you. All three of you.
I'm gonna kill your fucking ass. All three? Wait, what? All three of you? What does he mean? There's only one of him.
Well, he was hammered right
He used to
there.
have his eyes
He was
cracked.
really drunk right in that scene, so, you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna kill all three of you.
No. He
Back
seemed
in Los
very
Angeles,
sober.
two men sat in a bar room listening to a newscaster tell his headline story. He played up big the butcher's threat to kill Paul Lowe, Squeamy Ellis, and Joe Marcelli for their having turned state's evidence against him. Squeamy Ellis didn't seem happy
So
over
yeah,
the
there's this
butcher's
whole cop.
Gangsters sure love
They
bubblegum.
had figured once
do,
a dead
don't
man, always a dead man.
Bubblegum and silk
But this was one
ties.
time everyone was in for a surprise, including
Fancy
the
It's like, this
entire
is
police
Tommy Machete. And he's like,
Tommy Marcelli, yeah. Butcher dies today. So yeah, serves the butchers right. Chalk one up for the poultry.
You seen the headlines, Captain?
PETA in this bitch. Let's go.
San Francisco. Butcher's execution is set for 5 o'clock this afternoon. And like the newspapers say, he still refuses to talk about that stolen money.
Well, I still have hopes of coming up with something.
That's what I dropped by for, Dick. With Butcher's execution, the department's marking it case closed. That means you'll be reassigned.
Drop by. I came to see you. Yeah, his name is Dick Chasen.
As far as I'm concerned, Butcher's death is just the beginning.
Dick Chasen, huh?
I can't prove it, but I think that Paul Lowe was the top man.
I am Dick Chasen,
I
and
have to keep working on it quite often.
Man, this guy really
I
Dick
have a good
Chasen.
one, but I just can't say it. It's too
Okay,
bad.
Lieutenant. Officially, I've taken you off of the case. Unofficially, I wish you luck. Do me a favor. Keep me posted.
Will do. Thanks, John.
Dick Chasen.
I headed for Eva
Dick
Martin.
Chasen.
She worked in a local burlesque house. I'm a cop, and my job is to ask questions and get answers. So I decided I might as well start again with her.
So this is all on location in LA. Well, I mean, some of it's studio. Obviously, this, I think, is a studio.
We're taking Dick off the case or out of the game.
Talk?
That's very good, Silarn. That's
I can't even find a 3-ton armored car, let alone the $600,000, and I've been on the case a year.
I've told you, and I've told you, and I've told you. I don't know anything about the money. I never did.
Benton's gonna be dead in a little while. I thought it might make a difference.
I never knew anything about the money. Call me dumb. I didn't even know Charles was in the rackets until the trial.
Now, take it easy, kid.
Dumb.
Dumb.
Oh, he didn't call her dumb.
No, he was not playing bad cop. Obviously.
Well, she said, "Call me dumb."
She was. Yeah, she did. He was not prepared to do it. Oh, quick! I gotta hide.
Well, I'm just getting my shoes shined.
The old newspaper in front of, like, eyes peeking out bit, you know, like it's not like.
You used to have 2 holes cut in the newspaper.
Might as well. That's, you know, maybe even less noticeable.
Honey, here's your wrap.
So the production code was still around during this time, and that was one of the things is you couldn't show this burlesque dancer dancing. No bumping, no grinding, none of that. That was what.
Is this a middle school dance in the South?
Yeah, pretty much. That was how all movies were until, like, even at this time though, they were ready to bump the code. Like they got a letter from the production code people approving the production, and they had already started shooting the day before. Like they weren't waiting to be approved. Like, because most indies didn't give a shit at this at this point. People were trying to find ways to break the code, so it's like, this is on the way out.
Maybe I could have done something.
It's still relatively tame.
We could both use it.
Code schmode. That's what they said, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see.
That's exactly what they said. Is that the money? Is it just $600,000 in banknotes?
Well, now
it's an IOU for $600,000.
A message from Charles. He told me to open it if he died.
Open this in the event of my death.
All right.
I'm just gonna leave this here.
After the show?
No, thanks. Not tonight, Paul.
I didn't find out until much later, but Paul Lowe, in opening the letter the butcher had given Eva, found a map outlining a section of the city sewers.
Oh my God, what a map! What a map!
That was the spot where the butcher had hidden the stolen payroll.
Don't you know exactly where this is,
with a
right?
$50 bill.
Yeah, sure.
I guess he figured $50 to gain $600,000 was not a bad day's work.
What, he just put $50 in there? Wow, alright. That's
not a bad day's work.
100 miles away in San Francisco, the case took another switch, which turned the next 72 hours into one long, hideous nightmare. Dr. Bradshaw, a distinguished biochemist, was making preparations for a final experiment which he hoped would lead the way to a cure for cancer.
Biochemist.
He'd been successful with laboratory animals. The last step called for a human body. Dr. Bradshaw's assistant quickly made a deal with a local mortuary and returned to the laboratory with the dead body of Butcher Benton.
This is what Fauci's doing.
You know, on a weird note, Lon Chaney Jr. actually did donate his body to science when he died.
He's blinking, dude.
He was blinking.
Any trouble? No, I just handed the money over and moved the body
We
into
thought
your
he was
station
passed
wagon.
out, and of course that's he blinked right when we got the shot. Right when we got it set.
He's in good shape.
Well, I hope so.
He's in good shape.
Yeah, he just...
We'll get other blood samples later. We'll run this one through fast.
They didn't say how they killed him.
Now wheel him into the machine and then raise him.
Yes. Right. Why not? Syringe.
Syringe.
Yeah, probably.
Wait, does Twitch block that word?
Yeah. I don't know.
I could unblock it.
Sylarn, yeah, the narration, I think... I didn't actually look into the script to see if it was written with the narration. I think it was, but the narration actually caused more problems than anything else. I don't really know why they prioritized it so much.
volts?
Yes, yes. I'll get the fluoroscope set. We'll check with that before we start dissecting. Turn off the lights.
Why did I have to turn the lights off?
We need the atmosphere.
There you are, old boy.
Oh boy.
If you respond properly and my theory is sound, you'll be more famous dead than alive.
Ah, this guy's
throw the switch.
Putting on the mad scientist, the whole routine right now. Ooh, here we go.
All the dials.
The lab equipment, man. You gotta
Voltmeter, thousands.
I mean, it's essentially a Frankenstein story, you know?
Yeah.
More or less. Except it's just, you know, a whole...
But he was already
criminal.
like an existing person.
Right, yeah, he's not some stitched together thing. If Frankenstein just took a regular guy that died, so what if I just pumped this guy full of electricity? You get an indestructible man.
Wait, I thought I saw a pulsation of the heart.
He died by the electric chair. The irony is, if they had used a little more electricity, he would have came right back to life.
You've brought this man back to life.
No. The heart muscle has simply responded to a terrific electrical shock, that's all.
Terrific.
This is a live x-ray, bro? This dude's getting cancer. It's like just continuous x-ray.
He is alive.
Yeah, well, hey, he's already dead.
His cells are multiplying now.
But I mean, they're right there.
Oh, it's true.
Keep that reaction going.
Yeah, they're not wearing any protective equipment, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't see any
no gloves.
metal
no.
aprons or anything.
Nope.
Yeah. No lead apron. Nothing. They don't give a fuck. You blinked again? They can't get one good shot of this motherfucker not blinking.
No. Even though the man used to have to sit still for hours while makeup was applied to him to turn him into monsters. I mean, he's alive now, though, you know?
Supply room. Some amyl nitrite, too.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Wait, what's amyl nitrate? Isn't that something? What are they gonna do?
They're gonna nitrate him.
They're gonna nitrate him.
He's gonna have NOS. He's gonna be going really fast. He's gonna have nitrate.
Here he is. God, a hell of a bender that must have been. I thought I dreamed they were gonna execute me, and then I was dead. How did I get here?
You mustn't move. Your heart can't stand the strain. Now you must.
Your heart can't stand the strain.
Please. Easy. Easy.
Easy.
Easy. Please.
Easy. Yeah, out cold after that.
Bradshaw's experiment had given life back to the butcher. He tried to talk, but the electrical voltage had burned out his vocal cords. Yet it hadn't destroyed his brain.
No, wow, how convenient.
That explains it.
Burned out his vocal cords and nothing else.
I think he thought only about one.
Miraculously.
Squeamy and Joe Marcelli.
Yeah, only burned his vocal cords out. Everything else is
This is why Lon Chaney Jr. is Lon Chaney Jr. Because he busts through your door. I mean,
Dr. Bradshaw's experiment had created a vicious.
That's how Daddy Brooks walks in a room.
With an almost inconceivable amount of strength.
Oh, what's up, guys?
Dr. Bradshaw must have believed the butcher's regained life would last for only a few minutes. Therefore, instead of calling for help, the doctor decided to handle his creation alone.
Now, easy, Benton. Just relax. I'm a doctor. I want to try to help you. Do you understand me? You're in my laboratory. The execution was carried out and you were declared dead. I tried an experiment on you and brought you back to life, although I didn't intend that.
Although I didn't intend that. What did you intend exactly?
Be quiet now.
Yeah, what were you trying to do?
Take it easy.
Don't come in. You might frighten him. Your glasses might scare him.
Reactions are violent.
How do you explain this?
Each cell must have multiplied 100 times, perhaps thousands.
Oh my
It's
God!
unbelievable. No, it's too late for the amyl nitrate. I want to get some blood samples, make some tests on him, find out what's happened. Get me a syringe.
Great. Get me a syringe. What are you gonna do? What the hell is in it?
Oh yeah, bend it. Yeah, be sure you bend the needle.
Yikes.
Oh, his skin is needle-proof. He has needle-proof skin.
Well, we'll have to give him a suppository.
How are we going to get the blood sample?
Now, easy, Ben. Take it easy. You can't leave here now. I'm responsible for your being alive.
Yeah, kill him. Yeah.
I mean, if he's really that indestructible, it shouldn't take much force to just squeeze their heads off.
But do you think indestructible equals strong?
Well, yeah, well, that's a good question. I mean, I feel like the two equate. But what do you think? Would you disagree?
Yeah, because I could have a bulletproof vest on and not have a gun.
That's.
I don't think being indestructible means that you can destroy everything.
Right. That makes sense. I understand that.
But that would be kind of boring if he was indestructible, but just kind of weak.
Yeah, right.
Like, nothing can hurt me.
Case, Captain Lauder and I found out the doctor and his assistant had been murdered. But I'm getting ahead of my story. The butcher didn't
please
know
don't
how
get
he
ahead.
I'm getting ahead of my story. You know how I got here? We got to go back a ways.
He was alive. Then this monster-made man started thinking about Los Angeles.
Monster-made man? Are you serious?
M cubed.
The similar
Monster-made
movie
man.
Lon Chaney was in, the first monster role he ever played was in a movie called Man-Made Monster. It was the trailer we saw that was. The trailer was called The Atomic Man, but the original title is Man-Made Monster. They just said Monster.
Wait, what does that have to do with this?
They just said Monster-Made Man. Like,
yeah, it's a different thing.
No, but why, like,
if I got lucky,
that's just this combination of words. It's just ridiculous.
No, it's a completely different thing. Nothing in common. I don't see what you're getting at.
Even feel better.
It's not fair to watch the show from backstage.
Next time I'll pay admission.
I take it by that remark you like my routine.
Wow, what a cheap ass.
What I can't
Maybe next time I'll pay.
While you stay in a place like this, it shouldn't be hard for someone like you to get a job in a class spot.
If you weren't a detective, I'd be willing to bet with a line like that your next remark would be,
know about
how
this
about
big
dinner?
black hat.
Well, not exactly dinner, but
I kind of like it.
might be a
It's
good
just
idea.
very.
If you're asking in an official capacity.
It's very dark, I think, is like in the black and white movie.
Yeah,
that's what
all
it
I've
is.
ever called you is Lieutenant Chasen.
It looks like a big hole is just like in the set behind her head.
Right, yes. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's very unsettling. Or like with the way the brim is, she could just be wearing a ridiculous cowboy hat. Like it doesn't even, you know, it's not a good hat for this. You know, like.
You know something, Dick? I haven't had hamburger in the front seat of an automobile with a guy in a lot of years.
Oh my God. That was the most old school sentence I've ever heard.
Funny.
I haven't had a hamburger in the front of an automobile.
I mean, unless he was arresting somebody to solve the case, he was unhappy.
Was that fancy back then?
I guess so.
I do that every day.
Fed up occasionally with the job they do. Maybe we're more human than anyone else.
Their fancy is our
so
normal.
much trouble we get to hate the world.
Honestly, I think things kind of switched. Like if you're eating in your car now, that's kind of the least fancy thing you can do.
Yeah, without a doubt.
What made you join the department?
Now who's making with the questions?
No, honest, I'd like to know.
I hate this guy.
It's really a very short story.
Yeah, this.
When I got out of the Air Corps,
he's credited as Casey Adams, but his
went to work for
he also his other name that he's been credited under is Max Showalter. So I don't know, like why, you know, like Casey Adams. Like I haven't seen him credited as Casey Adams before, so I was like. Kept seeing that in the book. I was like, who the fuck is Casey Adams? I was like, oh, it's this guy. All right. Because he's been in some Twilight Zone episodes and stuff. Like, that's where I've seen him from. But apparently he really got along well with Lon Chaney during this movie. Loved.
As far as the department,
he drank with Lon Chaney, but he's like, I couldn't keep up with him. He was. I just couldn't.
He's a monster.
He's a
Can't
monster.
do it.
But he did not like. Well, he wasn't like. You know, I don't think he was mad about it, but he wasn't crazy about working with the actress. Apparently, nobody was.
It takes, I'll get him in the
She was apparently difficult.
Until I do, the Benton case for me is not closed.
Not temperamental, they said. Just she'd get upset and it would cost them time. And it's an independent production, so you don't.
Time is money.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Mr. Krabs said.
Yes.
This trouble ever started just happened. I had a roommate who used to date Benton all the time. One day she packed and left for Chicago. Benton carried a torch for her, and
even
used
he
my
said
shoulder
in the
to cry.
interview that I read
First thing I knew,
in the
we were
book,
having dinner together, and
he was like,
a few weeks
"Oh
later,
God,
I was labeled
this
by
is
the
the worst
police as this
sequence in the
number
whole
one
movie.
suspect
Like
and
this
Benton's
is,
girl. But
it just
was
goes
never
on
like that.
forever. It's
I made only one
horrible."
mistake. I
Like
felt
him
sorry.
and the writer were both.
You mean?
And I
Until
was
he was
like,
arrested for the robbery
okay,
and
yeah,
killing, you had
that's
no idea how he earned a living.
you know. That's
this
what
is going
happens
to
when you
sound
just get
crazy, but
useless
I only went out with
expository
Benton a couple of times, and
information
all we
about
ever talked
characters
about
that
was
we don't
marriage,
really
my
care
old
about.
roommate. The last time I saw him,
We want
I
to see Chaney.
tried to get too friendly, and that's when I told him he had the
Yeah, I
wrong
want to see
girl.
somebody.
But like I said,
Never mind, I can't
already
say. I think that was.
Uh-oh.
What about
I want to see this guy be a cop.
How do you two fit
Answer a call.
I want
Go
to see.
do something.
I want to see. I want to see a guy with a shotgun shoot somebody by accident.
Because I won a beauty contest, and the first prize was a screen test.
After which, nothing happened?
That's right. Only it was pretty rough. And then one day I read an ad about girls wanted for a burlesque show. I auditioned.
Burlesque shows. What a wild thing that is.
It's like
you
any
know.
other job.
I mean, now you just have.
If you're looking for trouble,
you know.
You can find it.
You just have
even in
strip clubs,
OnlyFans.
but back in OnlyFans. But like a burlesque show is so much more like, you know,
Classy.
classy. Yeah. Probably got them in Vegas, right?
was as good as any place else.
A lot. In
That's
Vegas.
probably still a
I don't know
thing.
about you,
Yeah.
but I do 8 shows a day, and at this hour I'm bushed.
I know what you mean. Mind if I drive you home?
No. And I'll tell you
I would say
something
no. He's so
else.
creepy.
Anything about you.
Yeah.
Not even the hamburger.
And that is gonna take us to our first break. So, you know, so far we've had Chaney get killed, come back to life, you know, brought back to life by mad scientists, and then killing that mad scientist and his assistant. So, Got a little bit of action early on. 2 deaths is more than we normally get at this point in our show. It's usually like maybe we're lucky if we get 1 by the first act. You know, it's kind of.
We got a little 2 for 1. We got 2 at the same fucking time.
We did, yeah, you did. I mean, that's why I would say he's pretty strong. You know, it's really. I mean, if you can do that, that's the first thing you're showing us. Then I think we're in store.
He's got 1 in each hand. He literally used both his hands.
Yes.
Killed 2 people. He's crazy. He's a madman.
He is, some might say, an indestructible man. Maybe. And yeah, I mean, Lon Chaney Jr. just, like, you know, even though those close-ups weren't shot very well as far as, like, matching with what was happening in the scene, like, you can tell the Chaney's performance is just, like, he's just got the look on his face, and he's just... Like, he's just a monster of a guy, and that was his reputation. Like, Lon Chaney Sr. was like a master of, like, you know, kind of changing himself for roles, like, but he wasn't necessarily like really a monster guy. Like, Lon Chaney Jr., king of the monsters, and you know, for about 7 years. At Universal, he was like their main guy. They had given up on Karloff and Lugosi at this point, and they were like, "All right." It was sad. Like, you know, when Karloff didn't want to be Frankenstein anymore, that's when they put Chaney in the role. And then they're like, "All right, we got to make a Dracula movie." And Lugosi's like, "Hey, I'm over here. I'd love to be in it." And they're like, "Nope, no, we don't want you." Like, our guy's Lon Chaney Jr. now. We're all in. And like they did. They really, like, he played Frankenstein's monster, Dracula, the Mummy.
They're like, all we have is Lon Chaney Jr. I guess we'll use him. Anybody else want to be Dracula? And Lugosi's like, me. And they're like, nobody else.
Well, and they had done Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, where they got Lugosi in to play Frankenstein's monster, and like they just set him up for failure. And originally they wanted Lon Chaney Jr. to just play both parts. They wanted him to play Frankenstein's monster and the Wolfman. And then he's like, that's a lot. That's like a whole lot. And so they're like, well, let's get Lugosi, who's 60 years old, and let's put 35 pounds of makeup on him, and I'm sure he'll do fine. And of course he collapses like on the set and has to like have a stunt double do like most of the final battle because he's a 60-year-old man.
But not only is a 60-year-old Lugosi.
Yeah, 60. Yeah, well, and you know, I mean, I learned
rough life.
Very rough life. Yeah, I mean,
a lot of miles on that man at 60.
Yeah, between World War I being, you know, and communist, or you know, so I didn't know that like he was profiled by the FBI for a little bit because they were worried about his communist ties in Hungary. I found that out today. But yeah, I mean. Yeah, the man was working day and night. I mean, he lived a rough life by 60. And Chaney Jr. just kind of got put on because he was Lon Chaney Jr.'s son. And that's where, like, a lot of the myths about him come in, where, like there's a podcast that did, like, a Hollywood old movie podcast that did a whole series about Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff. But they talk about Lon Chaney Jr. a little bit, and the host refers to him. She basically uses the popular term at that time. She calls him a large adult son, and basically disparages his whole entire career. And it's kind of, you know, it kind of pissed me off because I like Lon Chaney Jr. And I was like, you know, yeah, I mean, sure, he obviously got the opportunities he got just because of who he was. I mean, that's a given. But I mean, you know, he didn't even want to be an actor. He was like a plumber, or had his own like plumbing business, had his own some kind of other business. And then when that failed and he had nothing else to do, studios were coming at him being like, hey, come work for us, come act for us. And it was like the only work he was being offered. So that's how he got into it. It wasn't just like, well, I'm going to be an actor, I'm going to ride off my dad's name. That was not the plan. I mean, that was just, I mean, he was billed as Creighton Chaney first, and the studios eventually wore him down and said, all right, just let us credit you as Lon Chaney. Come on, let us do it. Come on.
Creighton Chaney. It's like when you have to take Chaney on a long flight, you gotta board him as a pet, and you're Creighton Chaney.
Ah, come on, do it. Let's hear it. The riff. There it is, perfect. Yes, you are Creighton Chaney in that case.
Yes,
but Sweet Feet, yes, you're right. Like that is the new, like, you know, whereas a couple years ago it was large adult son, now the popular thing to call him would be a Nepo baby. That's right, as the popular phrase. But I mean, again, that was not like, you know, that was not the line of work that he wanted to go into. But and then even when he was in it, he didn't want to be credited by his father's name, and he got pushed into it. And you know, it was really just exploitation, but he ended up making some, you know, I really enjoy his monster movies. And so we're going to get to see one like Universal monster movie trailer from his heyday. It's The Mummy. God, there's so many Mummy movies. I can't remember the title. It's The Mummy's Ghost, I think. And, you know, he's the mummy, so it's not like he's talking. You can't recognize him, but he's just being a monster, so that's fun. And then, oh, okay, I got you fresh. And then the other trailer is after he left Universal, after, you know, his career started. Yeah, he did Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, and after that, he didn't really play any more big, like, monster roles. He was in some horror movies, like, not really very many in the 50s. Throughout the 60s, he popped up in more, but he never really was playing, like, an all-out monster or, like, the lead role of a monster. Like, tonight's movie was the first time in a while that he was playing a monster, and it was the last time that he would play a lead role of like a monster in this kind of capacity. So the other trailer we're going to see is for a movie that came out the same year as this one, The Black Sleep, where he's playing what was more common for him at the time, which is more of a bit role where he's a mute and he doesn't say anything. And oh
really?
Yeah, he's just he's wasted.
He's a mute and he doesn't say anything.
Oh yeah, good, yeah. Thank you, Fresh. Well, yeah. No, actually, that's both him and Lugosi are both like mute in the movie. They're both like not given lines, and it's kind of sad. Because this is Lugosi's pretty much his last movie outside the Ed Wood stuff. So we're gonna see these two trailers. They both also have John Carradine in them, who is, you know, John Carradine's he was in Silent Night, Bloody Night. He was the old man who rang the bell all the time, Mr. Toman. And you know, he's another one of these big horror guys too. We haven't seen too many of his movies yet, but we'll get there. But enjoy these two Lon Chaney Jr. trailers, and then when we get back, we'll get into the exciting middle of Indestructible Man. So stick around. We will be right back.
I'ma be right back. Yeah, I'ma be right back. Look. I'ma be right back. Look. I'ma be right back. Look. Told him I'ma be right back. I'ma be right back.
There's no thief that killed Ben, Mrs. Evans. There's nothing human.
Be right back.
I'll take her back, Harris. Together we'll go to Arkham. I swear it. You can't go in that swamp. It's certain death. Let go of me.
Beyond any terror ever known, the Black Sleep, it wakes the dead. 5 of the screen's greatest horror thrill stars, Basil Rathbone, Akim Taberov, Lon Chaney, John Carradine, Bela Lugosi, and these beautiful women in their power. Pass through a madman's hellfire. Enter an ancient abbey's secret passage into the most terrifying torture dungeon from the medieval past. Shocking victims of a famous brain specialist gone berserk. Plunging you into a reign of terror.
It's cerebral fluid. But that means this man is alive.
Yes, alive.
So I'm gonna be right back. Look.
This is criminal. Monstrous. No!
I'm back. Yes.
Why not use her?
Put on the black
Yeah.
sheet. Take her up to surgery at once.
I'm gonna be right back. Look.
A horror beyond belief, feeding on beauty, lusting to claw the world apart.
Yeah. And we are back. So, yeah, that was the Black Sleep and the Mummies. I didn't see the Mummies what. Yes. Yeah, he requested to be on during the break.
Yes.
Yes.
Scroll up, sweet.
Don't worry. So I got the Malibu, and I have just poured in some grenadine. So I have made my lethal injection cocktail, and I'm very excited. So cheers, everybody.
Clink.
Clink.
You can't say cheers as you're making it. Oh, you got it.
Yeah, already.
I forget the stream's delayed on my end.
Yeah. Aha, you forgot. Yeah.
I forget sometimes, okay? Sometimes I forget. All right.
So I don't know if I mentioned it during the segment, but I forgot to get regular rum. And so all I had is Malibu.
Oh, you have coconut rum?
Yeah, and so it's very strong. I was hoping that the citrus would overpower it, but it's the other way around. The coconut is kind of overpowering the citrus. It isn't bad. I mean, it's really pretty good.
You're right back. Look,
it's pretty good.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll see. Hopefully, it's not lethal. But time will tell. And it'll prove if I am in fact an indestructible man or not. And so that's, we'll see. I don't have any needles here to show that my skin is completely, impenetrable. But, that's, we'll improvise. We'll find something. We'll get there. Don't worry. Yeah, it's really.
We're gonna have this shit on fucking lock, bro.
On lock, bro. No. I have a feeling I'm gonna enjoy this. This is a nice kind of drink to chill on because it's simple. Again, in keeping with the theme that Evan was going for with what were you drinking this season? It's keep it simple. So I figure I don't need to load this up with. I don't need any drink with a cocktail with like 3 or 4 different liquors. Let's just keep it simple.
Yeah, let's not overdo it. Yeah, let's not overload it.
You don't want an overload.
We're trying to have a lethal injection, not overdose over here.
Right.
Very specific way we're trying to die.
Right. It's very straightforward. Doesn't get any more straightforward than that. But yeah, pretty good stuff. So we're about to get into the exciting.
Pretty good stizzuff.
It's pretty good stizzuff. Yeah, not bad. We're about to get into the exciting middle. of Indestructible Man. Again, you know, basically, Lon Chaney Jr., like, this is one of the few, like, horror roles that he was even doing at this time. He's in a lot of westerns, in a lot of, like, comedies, dramas. He was doing, like, all kinds of different bit parts, like, really small roles.
Yeah, I'm sure you are, yeah,
but he
but
wasn't
people were going on.
doing horror movies. So that was, you know, kind of sad, but, you know, again, I think they used him to good effect here, as I think we're about to see, because obviously, you know, he wants to get his revenge, trying to get a little revenge on.
I want to be a dang man right now.
That's, you know, such a...
I'm getting some feedback on my end, some interference, if you will. Are you hearing it on your end?
There might be a little bit of interference coming in. I think I might be hearing a little something. But you know, that's what happens when you're just surrounded by, you know, the world of crime, as we are, thanks to tonight's film, Indestructible Man. You just get that interference sometimes. It just, you know, what are you gonna do? We you know, we don't let it stop us here. We just keep the ball rolling.
Keep it rolling.
Yeah, unless...
I think it's on your end, by the way.
It probably is. You know how bad my internet is, so it's probably some kind of, you know... Well, again, we have talked many times about the Caligari curse. I don't have to tell you that, of course I believe that the effects could cause some kind of interference with, you know, some kind of public signals, you know, which again are public domain. So it fits into the theme of this show perfectly. So regardless, it's on. I'll cheers to that. So
that's a 10-4.
10-4. Thank you, Caligari Curse.
Calamari curse. Let's go.
No, you don't do this. We made that joke enough times when we watched Caligari. We are not gonna rehash the Caligari bit.
I just thought of a good one, dude. The Calamari curse.
Yeah, come on. Let's hear it. That works too. I love that one. That's very good. All right. Well, I think anything before we get into it, Fresh?
I got nothing.
All right. And neither do they. And we're gonna get into the exciting middle of Indestructible Man right now.
I kept playing tag with Lowe. I made 4 telephone calls.
I gotta stop.
3 of them didn't interest me, but one did. The one to Joe Marcelli. I watched Joe head for his meeting with Lowe, and for some unknown reason, I began to get the feeling that this case was finally about to explode in my favor.
No crosswalks back then.
No. Oh.
Well, look at that, will you? I seen him stagger on 2 legs, but he's doing it on 4.
Shut up, you flea bag.
Well, look who's calling names. At least I ain't a squealer, a stoolie.
Oh, shit.
I warned you before. All right, Harry, that's enough. I'll take care of him.
So apparently, according to the director, that lady, the barfly, was smoking weed the whole time, and they didn't have a problem with it because she did perfect. She was like running the scene, you know. She did, you know. She was great.
She was turned up.
She was turned up. You know, she was supposed to be playing drunk anyway, so it worked.
She said, "I'm gonna just burn one."
Yeah, she really did. The director was, you know, hey, it fits. Let's roll with it.
I run out of dough.
No wonder.
What in the fuck is that? What in the fuck is what, Speaky?
Man in town. Now, I don't think you could crack a safe if you knew the combination.
No jobs. Nobody wants me since I turned stakes on Benton. That's your doing. You told me.
All right, quit crying. I got a job for you. If you can stay off that stuff long enough.
You know I can if I've got a job. How much?
I can quit anytime I want.
Sure. That's what they all say.
Interested?
$2 grand ain't much out of 600,000.
The other expenses. Besides, that money's
Yeah,
money.
$2 grand out of 600,000. Are you kidding me? Wait, did he say 2 or 10? 10 still.
He only
not
said
enough.
2.
Yeah,
He said 2.
that is
Call me before knowing how
peanuts.
fun it races. 1. That's all. The job's over.
Wow, took it off with one hand. What a badass.
Uh-oh, here's the monster. Yeah. Let's play a game. Drunk or not drunk? Starring Lon Chaney Jr. Survey says... Probably drunk.
Both.
The butcher was walking slowly toward Los Angeles.
Oh my god, we don't need you to tell us that.
Thank you. Thank you, Lieutenant Dick Jason.
Rod Serling over here.
And then he saw her. And he saw something else. An automobile.
Yeah, I'll say he saw something else.
With a car, he knew by the next afternoon he'd be in Los Angeles in plenty
Picture
of time
this.
to catch up with the 3 men who had double-crossed him.
Man, oh man.
Well, see, you're a real gentleman to be helping strangers in distress. I hope you don't mind me.
Is there something in there, or is
isn't she? But that's
Never
what she
mind.
gets paid for. Bait, that is. Yes, sir. She's a real shakeout to my outfit. Carnival man myself. Just call me Connie.
So they just like put some Play-Doh.
They did something. Something's not right there.
Yeah, this isn't
Let's make
proportional.
my carnival grifters look like babes in the woods.
Jesus. Yes, he's super strong. Look at that. All right, hold it. Hold it. Hold it.
Hold it, keep holding it. Now hold it up while we do the other wheel.
Say who you with, friend, and let it down. Let it down.
What if he just dropped it and the whole fucking like wheel broke?
He wasn't even holding it up in that shot. He was just like...
Just pretending to let it down, yeah.
Ah, damn. Nah, he wanted the car the whole time. The girl was just a red herring.
An hour later, the San Francisco Police Department sent out an APB.
APB.
Squads were sent to various parts of the countryside.
APB.
Tag nabbit fresh.
What? What did I do?
Nothing. You didn't do anything.
I'm so confused.
No, nothing.
Oh.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I can't control when bad things happen.
No, no. This is the way it goes, of course.
Roadblocks were thrown up to catch the
nothing's happening at that time.
Each squad
All right, let's rewind it.
back to central headquarters, and each of their stories was the same. So far, none of them had spotted the car the killer was driving. Orders were given to shoot to kill, because from the girls' further accounts, they realized they were dealing with a maniac.
Oh, come on.
Ram the gate.
Ram through it, yeah, come on. Oh, shit.
Haha. You fools, he's indestructible.
Oh, shit.
Apparently his shirt's indestructible,
dude.
too. Didn't even put a hole in his shirt.
No. Yeah, that was a continuity error that they had to deal with. And now, we get a classic fake driving, one of these scenes.
Which way do we want to go?
On to
Bakersfield is that way.
On to Bakersfield. The little slice of heaven that is Bakersfield. Gotta get on my jacket. I'm indestructible, but that doesn't mean I don't get cold.
I trust that this information will answer all of your questions. If I can be of any further service, let me know. Sincerely, J.L. Louder, Captain Police, L.A.
Oh, wow. He put a sincerely on it. That was real nice. That was real sweet.
That means he really meant it.
These reports sound like they come from a bunch of loonies.
You sure do.
A bunch of loonies.
Sergeant. Yeah. I want Lieutenant Chasen to look these over.
You know the loonies?
Right,
you know that family that's really famous for writing those police reports?
The next morning, I read the stories of the brutal murder of the 2 police officers. I also read the witness's statement about the bullets having no effect upon the killer. I felt sorry for the witness, and I thought about how easily a person's mind can become confused when suddenly they receive a brutal shock.
Great.
I didn't believe a man existed who could not be stopped by a slug from a .45. Good morning, Captain.
That was a good line.
You and the rest of the force are going on 24-hour duty. Seen the headlines?
With this guy that's running amok up north?
A mock? This guy just...
He's killed 2 police officers.
What the fuck?
I've only ever seen this word written down, okay? Give me a fucking break.
This killer's gonna be our baby.
He's running amok.
Could be in town right now.
Yeah.
You better get started, Lieutenant.
Okay.
Okay.
Any new leads on that hold-up money?
I think the girl can probably be counted out. If any of the others are wise, they're keeping mighty quiet.
She can be counted out.
Let it ride for now. The whole force is going to be on the spot until we catch this killer.
Well, I hope so.
Newspapers will have a field day.
Come on, all the newspapers in town. It's time for field day. Now, we're the Daily Star. You get the green shirts. Weekly Mail. You get the blue shirts.
We were wrong about 2 things.
You guys are gonna start the
killer
tug of
was
war.
already in our city, and we didn't know he was Butcher Benton. He headed straight for Eva Martin. He went to her dressing room to get back the map he had left in the envelope with her. He wanted first to check his money, then catch up with Lowe and the others.
So he had to go, well, of course. Damn. He can't even say anything. So we'll get to see the power of Chaney's pantomime.
You do look like him. Only different somehow.
Oh shit, wait, what? Oh yeah, I guess.
It's you.
Alright. Why would he get like a tattoo on his wrist of his initials? What is he, like a drunk college girl?
What's happened, Charles? There's like bullet holes.
He's gonna show her the inside of his lower lip neck.
There's even a mark.
Look, he doesn't do anything.
Nothing.
I want to be emo so bad.
I'll say.
I opened it like you told me, and I found the $50.
Uh-oh.
You found the what?
I didn't know why he left it.
What? Yeah, too bad he
didn't
can't
know
speak.
why he was here.
I needed that $50, goddammit.
Damn you.
Don't.
I mean, you know who the bad guys are. Go wreck them. Go tear them up.
The name of Paul triggered his hate. He left her dressing room and started for Squeamy Ellis and Joe Marcelli's place.
Squeamy.
Because he knew with them out of the way, Paul Lowe couldn't open the strong box where the money was
sober. Survey says.
He thought of Squeamy and Joe
sober.
first.
He's drunk.
You gotta be sober to walk down that many stairs.
Last.
No, he's just a pro at being drunk.
Well, remember again on Spider Baby, they said that he would come in with a bag of oranges that he had like either soaked or injected in like alcohol, and you know.
You're God.
Like he just, and the actors, all they remembered was he always smelled like oranges. Again, like they remember that, but like, oh, but he was so professional. He's the sweetest guy.
620. Call Mary X-ray 9209. Call Mary X-ray 9209.
That's what she said.
It's literally what she said.
Can I borrow your eyebrow pencil?
Call Mary X-ray. Square 620.
Why that needless interaction?
Operator, get me
Can
please
I
take calls.
borrow your... Why?
Lieutenant Chasen, please. When do you expect... Well, tell him Charles Benton is alive, and even bullets can't stop him. I'm not crazy.
I'm not crazy.
You're crazy.
X-ray 9209 comes back to the 2003 Lincoln Navigator to a Sophia Martinez out of Canapolis.
Oh my gosh. Fresh.
After leaving
There's some interference.
It's the Caligari Carrots.
She tried to tell him the butcher was alive and on his way over to kill him. Squeamy didn't believe her, and in a way you couldn't blame him. Who in their right
Great,
mind
thanks.
would believe a
Thanks
man
for
had
summing all
returned
this
from
up
the
in
dead?
narration. Really,
What Squeamy
really
actually
appreciate
believed
that.
was
He called her, and then they
the
spoke on the
police
phone, see?
executioner had hired a killer to carry out his threat.
Why does nobody believe me? No dancing. This is the town from
You look
Footloose.
so good to me. I could take over the matinee trick for you. What? It's easy. Look, Ava, I can do it. Scub-up-de-doo-doo-doo. Oh, Francine, I just thought of something. Yeah?
Eva agreed to let
Oh my
Francine do the
God.
show. She hoped she'd be able to interrupt the butcher before he arrived.
Ah, bro. We're watching it. Why do you need to tell us?
It's so funny though.
You want to meet Captain?
Yeah, I just
It's
got
like
a
they
rundown
just
on the
got
fingerprints of the
impatient.
Stolen car up north.
They're like, fuck it, we don't want to film all this. We'll just have them say
With
it.
him. Take a good look at these.
There's something funny about these.
Yeah. The boys in the lab can't figure it out either. Those are the killers. They were found on the steering wheel.
The boys in the lab.
With a steel die.
When are we gonna get a movie about the boys in the lab?
The boys in the lab.
Boys in the lab.
That's me and my homies when we're making music.
The same to me.
The
That's
boys
what
in
they
the
call us,
lab.
Boys in the lab.
I don't. The best guess is a twin brother.
It's like it's
An
in
identical twin
the.
could
It's like
have
an
the same
in
pattern of
apostrophe
whorls with only
the
slight
lab.
variation.
Yeah. Exactly.
Ever hear of the butcher having a twin brother?
Is in
Even if he did, it wouldn't
the
explain these
lab.
You didn't pick up your message, Lieutenant. Some wacky dame calls you. And she says
Some
Charles
wacky
Benton is alive.
dame.
Been bullets
Can't say
won't
that
stop
anymore.
This is definitely a 50s movie. Some crazy lady reported a crime. I don't know why she would do that.
Some crazy broad called up about some living dead guy. I don't know what she's talking about. Too bad this isn't New York. Oh my God.
It feels like New York.
I know, but it's Los Angeles, and we're about to see like. There's a lot of on location stuff that I think comes in the second half of the movie. And of course, here we are on location. Apparently, like this was like hidden camera style. This shot, and they just had him walking down the street. No, And people are like really reacting to seeing Lon Chaney Jr. walk down the street. Like sometimes you can notice some people look at him like, oh shit.
Wait, that's Lon Chaney Jr. He's like, get out of my fucking way. I need a drink.
Yeah.
He rode up Angel's flight, arrived at the top, scanned the hotel building, and then noticed the only exit from Squeamy's apartment, a fire escape.
I mean, he's, you know, that's what he's good at those, the eyes, man. He communicates a lot just with a simple shot like that.
You got the tool tuck. You got a tool tuck.
We need to normalize more fire escapes, man. Like, everywhere. I'm in favor of it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want when I live in an apartment. Someone walking down the street to have a ladder into my bedroom. What a great thing.
Nah, but you pull up the ladder. You lock it or something. It's like but you get a bike lock and
yeah, you just twist it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a bike lock. So if anyone else needs to use it to get out from the fire, they just die.
Yeah. Too bad. Sorry. I
didn't want anyone getting up here.
You're new, and I didn't get the time to introduce myself and also give you the combination to the fire escape.
The combination. Oh my god. I thought it was 4661, not 4611.
Too bad, you're dead.
Now you're dead.
So this is called the Angel's Flight, and it's like, or maybe it's Angel Flight.
Angel Dust.
Flight. Angel's Flight. I think it's still around. I don't know if it's the original one, but it's some kind of trolley type thing. There's a weird name for it. I saw on the Wikipedia page. I was like, that's fucking wild for just being basically like a trolley. It's turning into, like, I'm trying to think of something it's turning into The Terror. Just people walking for like 5 minutes. Oh shit. You do not want Lon Chaney Jr. running after you, bro. That would be terrible. Especially with this hammer.
Oh my god.
Holy shit! I'm sure it was a dummy, but that was fucking wild.
You said you don't want Lon Chaney running after you if he's hammered. So what you meant was you don't want Lon Chaney running after you.
Yes,
Butcher was figuring his next step, and as he looked at the dead cop, he thought about Paul.
Oh my!
He's just racking them up. Oh my God, she's still here.
I told him I didn't want him around here no more. Give me a shot.
She basically lives here.
You want a reefer stick?
Look, I need help. Just found out.
Yeah, she looks down.
Hired a killer to get me.
Wearing the same exact clothes she wore.
Drink up and get out. I don't want no trouble around my place.
That was supposed to be.
You're a real pal.
Drink up and get out, I said.
Drink up and get out.
Get the hell out.
Get the fuck out of here.
No lines tonight. Or no lines in that scene for her. Oh, thank you, Sweet Feet. We're just, you know. It's just one of those movies, man. It's, you know, it's good and bad. Best of both worlds.
Yeah, we're really Hannah Montana-ing it up tonight.
Oh my God.
Getting there.
Get out.
We're getting the best of both worlds, as it were.
God, what is that? Like, how old is that joke? Like 2012? Are we going back a full decade for a Hannah Montana reference?
You're welcome. I'll be here all night. You guys are welcome.
Okay, great, perfect. I was wondering. I didn't know if it was gonna be a tight 60 or.
Nah, this is gonna be a hang tonight. Be sure to tip your bartender.
Tip your bartender. I'm here all night. Yeah, and you say that right as I'm making myself another drink.
313 Street.
I'm afraid to crank it up again.
Well, again, if you get a bunch of police cars and stuff, a bunch of activity, that's the perfect time.
It's just, never mind. I don't want to say why I don't want to crank it up, but I don't.
Okay. Message me. Oh my god, yeah, I'd be screaming like that too. Oh shit. Damn. He looks damn proud of himself. Drunk or hammered? Hammered.
Drunk or hammered? What the fuck? That's not the game we're playing.
Sorry, drunk or sober.
Drunk or hammered?
Winner!
Drunk or hammered? Yes.
Yes. I think the book that I read pointed out that, like, technically he got thrown.
This is the break.
He's dead on a mackerel.
Okay.
Customer of mine.
The guy got. Oh, that was right there.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is gonna take us to the break. Okay, so, yeah, don't worry, Fresh. We'll figure out where you need to be. Okay, yeah, I changed the break when I went into tonight. I had the break later, and then had less time at the end. I don't know. Okay, so we got two big murders, right? He's like 2 out of 3 people he's trying to get revenge on, right? And some innocent, bystanders, right? Like, I don't know. He killed a cop. I mean, innocent? I don't know. You're putting your life on the line when you're in that line of work. And if the guy you're looking for is the butcher, and that's his nickname, you probably don't stand the best chance of coming out of it, on the other side. But that's the risk that you take. So I don't know. I mean, it seems like he's just throwing people off of like high, high places, but it's effective.
He has a signature move.
He does have a signature move. And again, that was like, when he played Frankenstein, the signature move is just to like ball the monster. They would ball their fist up and just hit somebody like in the back, like of the neck, and then just kill them. And it's like, all right, and they're dead now because I did that. And like that was like Chaney's move when he was the monster. It's just you give it like one of those, and
that makes sense to me. I think that works.
Brute force, I mean, again, that was kind of Chaney's forte, playing any kind of monster role, is that he is gonna like charge around and he's gonna get rough with whoever he's supposed to be terrorizing. And he didn't make a lot of friends doing that, obviously. Like early in his career, like he got paired with one actress all the time, Evelyn Ankers, and they did not get along because apparently, like, especially on the Wolfman, he was like really rough with her, like as far as like when he's supposed to be scaring her. And so, I don't know. That was like one person he famously did not get along with, but they co-starred together like over like half a dozen times, if not more than that. If not close to a dozen. But like that was Chaney. He could be very polarizing. People either loved him or they thought that he was a drunk and they hated him. And so, it's kind of sad because he was a drunk. I mean, it's, but he was professional. And so, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Again, like you have this movie, this is his last big monster role. And then everything else is just kind of, he's just getting wasted and really like, and I don't mean wasted in the sense of drunk. I just mean the productions waste his talents because they're just so, it's usually not about Lon Chaney. It's just about having his name, and he's usually playing like some small bit part that is not very interesting. So that's two of the trailers we're going to see is from some later stage 60s Lon Chaney horror movies. The first is for a movie called, it goes by many titles. The title I know it by is House of the Black Death, but the title in this trailer is something random. I don't know what it is. I don't know what that is. 10-4. 10-4. It's over and out. No, it's but it's basically, it's another movie with, actually all these trailers are him and John Carradine. That's what I forgot to say last break. John Carradine and him play like brothers who are like Satan worshipers or something. I don't know. Pretty bad movie. I tried to watch it and I couldn't get through it. It's really low production values. And I don't even think we'll get to see it on the show. I don't think it's public domain, but it's not good. And then the other movie is I think we've seen this trailer before. Hillbillies in a Haunted House. Did we watch that trailer?
What the
before?
hell? I don't recall that one. No.
Here. But this is it's a horror comedy from the late 60s when these horror comedies with like, it's usually color movies with, you get some like old washed up Hollywood stars to like basically make cameos, and then you get some musicians to come and perform musical acts around some loose plot. And so that's what Hillbillies in a Haunted House is. It's like country music stars like who perform at like jamborees and stuff, and then they end up in a haunted house where Lon Chaney and John Carradine and Basil Rathbone are up to no good. So it's done.
Started making trouble in my neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean they might as well be up to Will Smith level mischief. I don't think we'll see any slaps in that trailer, but keep your eye out because they're very fussy in that trailer. I mean they're being poked fun at, and that's, again, like tonight's movie is very much like a monster movie in the genuine sense. Like it's, everything after this for Lon Chaney was just kind of these bit roles where he's just kind of goofing around. Like, the Alligator Man sounds like a great title when it says starring Lon Chaney Jr., but then when Lon Chaney Jr. isn't playing the Alligator Man, he's playing like a hook-handed Cajun guy. It's like, okay, well, that's cool, but like, I thought he was going to be the Alligator Man. Like, what's up?
Yeah, I hate that when they just use him for their name.
Yeah, but that was literally his entire career. From like the very beginning, it was all about using his name, and he gave into it, and that was basically how his career ended. We've seen the Dracula versus Frankenstein trailer. He was in that. We don't need to see that again. That was like his last film, and he's you can tell in like the last stages of his life, he's not doing good. And then there was another one by the same filmmaker I almost showed, but that was just a little too raunchy. So we're sticking with these. So anything before we go to break, Fresh?
No, I don't think I have anything.
All right. Well, we're going to get this break, and then when we come back, we're going to get into the exciting conclusion of Indestructible Man. So stick around. We'll be right back.
There was a structure that would become a curse to all. This would be known as the frightening, the evil House of the Black Death. See Lon Chaney as the Black Magician who carried out the command of Satan. John Carradine as the leader of a cult dedicated to the task of unleashing demons upon the world. Never before has a motion picture captured the fright, the stark, terrifying horror, the chills, the uncanny thrills that are to be found within the walls of this castle of evil. A nightmare of horror.
A daydream of glamour. Beautiful gum.
Danger lurks in every corner.
On every couch.
In the hillbillies in a haunted house. For the first time together, the masters of suspense and mystery, Lon Chaney, John Carradine, and Basil Rathbone. Now, as leaders of a nefarious gang of criminals, they unleash a wave of fear and fright. In Hillbillies in a Haunted House.
A jamboree of songs. A galaxy of stars.
We're on our way to a swinging jamboree. Yeah!
The All-American sweetheart, Molly B. The newest sensational star, Merle Haggard.
Something I'm not used to.
Now, that beautiful blonde Marcella Wright.
Completely strangers. When we meet, you turn and look the other way.
The star of stars, Sonny James.
Had an old yellow cat that wouldn't leave home.
The king of country music, Ferlin Husky.
Never grow.
The glamorous Joy Lansing.
Well, now on Monday I'm your darling. On Tuesday I'm your baby. But on Wednesday you don't...
The Hillbillies in a Haunted House. A vulnerable...
And we are back. So yeah, that was House of the Black Death, aka again whatever that trailer was, and Hillbillies in a Haunted House. And I have not seen, well, again, I saw the other one. I haven't seen Hillbillies in a Haunted House. Doesn't look like my kind of thing. I'm just not into those like 60s horror comedy musical. Like American International is doing like, you know, beach, you know, Ghost in Invisible Bikini, right? And Boris Karloff is just sitting in a chair while like, you know, bikini girls are dancing around. Essentially, that's not quite it, but that's essentially it. You know, this is just a much sadder version of that. I don't need to see that.
I kind of want to watch it now.
Well, it's good luck. I don't know if it's easy to find. Like I don't think it's streaming. Probably is on YouTube. What am I saying? Everything is on YouTube. Where do you think I found tonight's film? Which, okay, full disclosure.
Oh, let's get synced up.
Yes, okay, let's do that. Okay, so the guy was talking to that woman, and he said, he was like, oh yeah, a guy got killed here, like as soon as like I can't tell you where exactly it's at until I just start the thing, right?
Okay, that's fine.
I wish.
I think we're in the same place. I watched the stream and saw where you cut away and tried to stop it there.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me run mine back a second.
Okay, yes, please do that. And let's just recap for everybody. So basically, Lon Chaney Jr., this resurrected killer, is gotten revenge on 2 of the 3 people that he's targeting. And so he's got to get the 3rd one.
2 of them.
2 of them.
2 of these dudes. 2 of these dudes.
Just threw them down to the ground. 1, 2, 3.
Wait, there was only 2.
Well, yeah. Well, no, I'm saying that's they're down 1, 2, 3 count.
Oh,
ding, ding,
I see what you're saying.
Bell. Like,
I thought you meant he threw down 2 people, 1, 2, 3, and I was like, how do you?
Not yet.
Because there's only 2.
No, not yet. But I believe, like, reading the thing today, that there are some deleted scenes that did not get included, and so then kind of it gets a little jumbled, some of it, but we'll see. We'll find out. Yeah, I mean, again, so basically,
right.
to kind of explain why that happened, basically partway through filming, financing just collapsed, and for whatever reason, when they finally resumed, they decided to delete a bunch of stuff. The movie was basically almost done, but they decided when they got money to start it back up to just completely reshoot and delete a bunch of things. And they ended up like removing like important kind of interesting scenes that had been shot and kind of using the voiceover a little more. And the voiceover kind of ended up creating inconsistencies with like things that are happening, because when they made sense when there was stuff that hadn't been deleted, and when that stuff was deleted, it's like, all right, well, how did that happen? Why are they saying this? I don't understand. How does this character know this? And it's for some reason they just refilmed a bunch of stuff and did different things.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I mean, again, they
didn't care at all about like the continuity.
No, which is really weird. It's like basically there were 2 years in between when they started shooting this and when it was released, and I don't know like how long in between when their financing ran out to when they restarted. I don't know I don't even know what they didn't have. Like, I mean, I really glanced over the book so quickly today, so I'll have to get. It was actually a really interesting read. I'm gonna have to buy more of those scripts from the crypt, because it's the actual script and like, but all these essays, and so it was really informative. And but I didn't.
Scripts from the crypt.
From the crypt.
That's my shit.
You got to start getting the tracks together for your Halloween rap record for next Halloween. I mean, it's your LP. You got to get you got to start banging them out. I mean, all the material.
Bro, I'm ready. I'm ready, dude. What are you talking about? Get ready. I am ready.
You can go through enough of our past shows and find enough novelty raps in what we've already done. You could do a whole album. Easy. No question. We'll get there. Don't worry. We'll tie it in. We'll do some cross promotion.
I will say, I think I've cleared up the interference in the signal tonight. I don't think there's going to be any more cross connection.
Well, it's certainly added to the atmosphere. I will say that. If it, it makes you feel like you're really there. So that's
it puts you in the mood.
Right. Yes.
But luckily, I believe I have cleared up the ingress that we were seeing on the radio frequencies here. So
that is fantastic. Well, then I think without further ado, we can go ahead and unless you have anything before we get into it, Fresh. Any predictions about how we think? You know what I mean? What do we think finale wise? I mean, obviously the monster is, you know, he's not gonna live.
Yeah, I foresee a mob style, Frankenstein mob.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Find a way to destroy the indestructible man.
I like
That's
it.
what I think.
I think that's the only way. It's the power of the people coming together can defeat one indestructible man, right? All the people together. That's how you defeat an indestructible man. It's people.
Yeah, one man can't destroy him. That's why he's indestructible.
Right.
But 3 or 4 people can destroy him.
3 or 4 can weaken. You need a whole community, a whole
Right.
mob to fight.
It takes a
back.
village.
It takes, doesn't it? Doesn't it though? It takes a village.
So true.
So true. Yeah. So I like that. I'd be down for that. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah. Then I think without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into the exciting conclusion of Indestructible Man right now.
Ain't one enough?
Ain't one enough. That's right where I'm at. Not that that helps you.
I think I'm a little bit ahead of you.
That's fine.
He must have been wearing a bulletproof vest.
Wow.
God help us when the papers get a hold of this. Keep an officer on duty here till you hear from me.
Yeah, wouldn't want the papers to get a hold of this. There's like so many people standing around.
Every available man's been put on the case now. Yes, sir. All right. All right. Anything new?
Report on Dr. Bradshaw, owner of the station wagon. The San Francisco police located his laboratory in the basement of an electrical power receiving station.
Bradshaw, what's he know?
He's dead.
An electrical power. His laboratory was in the basement of an electrical power receiving station.
San Francisco.
I love how he just rattled that off so effortlessly. Like it's just
electrical power receiving station.
Like what the fuck?
What a useless. We receive power.
The man was driving his station.
Yeah, so does my house.
I'd love if he started giving narrations of what he was just saying there. And then I told Chief, I said, this is what's going on. We got to do something about it. And then Chief said, you're right, Dick Chasen.
Professor Dwiggins.
Jason.
Captain, reports from the valley. A hysterical woman reports the presence of the killer.
Such a stupid name, dude. Yeah, he Dick Jason, all right. Bro.
I just want all the names to be innuendos.
I love it. I want them to say his name every time they talk to him. I'll tell you one thing, Dick Jason.
And he got out of the car to take a walk. You noticed that he walked down toward the sump area in the direction where you'd seen those lights a short while before.
What happened then?
Yes,
I just sat there. A few minutes, I guess. I was pretty mad. Then there was a loud crash, like heavy metal, sort of.
Dick chasing and gash grabbing.
Got out of the car to get a better look.
Gash grabbing.
I heard Jimmy cry out something. I couldn't make out the words. Then down here, in a patch of light, was Jimmy. And coming toward him was this
so
man.
Compelling testimony.
Big man. Lifted Jimmy up over his head like he didn't weigh a thing.
She needs to blink, bro.
Yeah,
what the
she's
fuck?
fucking.
Just once.
Her eyes are getting
She's
dry.
just gonna keep,
Broke Jimmy's back. I heard it snap.
Yeah, you blinked, you lost.
I saw you blink.
I started running till I found
That's how we know you're lying.
They let me use the phone.
Heavy metal.
Thank you, miss. We'll see that you get home right now.
You can drive yourself home, right?
O'Malley, see that the young
I
lady
think
gets
she's
home all right.
mildly hysterical. Hey, did you hear that?
All low,
This
while
crazy
driving
broad
to
is
his office,
hysterical.
Heard a radio commentator report the murder of Joe Marcelli. And what shocked him most was when the broadcast
Dear
identified
God.
the killer as possibly being the
I
butcher.
fucking hate this narration so much.
Yeah. You don't love it?
You gave me a start, Mr. Lowe.
What are you doing here? Where's Eva?
Well, I'm taking her place. I'm going to wear her costumes. What's it to you?
I asked you where's
Oh,
Eva.
shit.
Hey, don't get physical. And watch your tone of voice,
What's
Buster.
her, why does she have... What does she have? What's hanging off of that?
Where is she?
I don't... I was wondering that myself.
That's where
It's
she
very,
is.
Yes, sir.
Alright.
No, sir. Captain Lauder is still with the mayor. The killer dropped out of sight. He was last seen in the Hollywood area.
Why is that lady dressed like the Colonel?
Yes, sir. We know he's
That's what it
dangerous.
is. I was trying to place it. I couldn't quite place it. But yep,
She's
got the
dressed
top.
like the Colonel.
She's
Yep.
dressed like Mrs. Colonel.
Yeah, Claudia Sanders.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, see how these fit.
Low heels.
I'm sorry, it's the best our wardrobe department could afford.
So they did this whole scene because she was wearing different
that's what we
shoes in the finale, and they had to
Yeah,
make
they had to make it work.
Yeah, they had to write it in the script, and they're like, "Oh, here's a scene we're shooting the next day. It comes before it. Let's like have her change
Charles
shoes."
killed Squeamy and Joe.
That's so dumb.
It's ridiculous. But the writers got to work, man. Sue and
I
Vine,
got it.
man, they got on it.
We'll just have her change shoes.
Is on the trail of the money, Lowe. Now, maybe you better
Perfect,
start
perfect.
talking if you
I
know
can write
anything
that,
about
no
it.
problem.
I don't know anything.
Did the butcher have a brother?
Maybe you better start talking, see?
It's Charles. I saw the tattoo on his arm.
It was Charles, and he was in charge.
You heard me. I demand protection. I know my rights.
We put stakeouts on your office and home.
Well, that's not enough.
It's enough as far as we're concerned.
What? What? Why do you punch that
Are you
guy?
gonna book me, Sergeant?
Oh my god, yeah, you're ahead of me, actually. He said, why did he punch that guy? And then he punched him on
Yeah,
my
just,
screen.
damn. Just get ahead of it. It's now.
Thank you.
Come up with anything yet, Dick?
Oh, we've checked every hotel, motel, and rooming house in town. We've run a cross-check on every hangout butcher ever used. Net results, blank.
Blank.
This is
Blank.
incredible. We not only discover a dead man
we're
turned
good.
killer,
We're on
but it's
it.
beginning
We're
to
on
look
it.
like he plays ghosts, too. He's somewhere in this
Plays
city. If we
ghosts.
have to take it apart brick by brick, we've got to get him.
I may be way
I
off,
wanna play
but
Ghost.
I think Paul Lowe could tell us a lot.
Maybe. It's a cinch he's not going to.
Well, suppose he had no alternative.
You better grab some coffee. Your mind's beginning to play tricks on you.
No, now, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's
When
the
Lowe came
cure
to us
for
for
your
police
mind playing
protection, it
tricks
was
on you,
because he
right?
was scared
Off.
stiff the butcher would add him to the list of Squeamy Ellis and Joe Marcelli.
You need to smoke a cigarette.
Figures, too. When he slugged the sergeant, he knew we'd book him right away. Oh, this Lowe's a pretty cute character. But we can play the same game.
You mean we'll threaten to release him?
Well, not exactly.
Oh, okay,
Well,
that
not
was
exactly.
Tell him
That
you
was
realize
smart.
he was
That makes
excited,
sense.
that throwing the punch was accidental. Tell him we're not going to make a charge, that he's completely released.
Lieutenant, you know we can't do that.
Wait, what's
Paul
the
made
plan?
his first mistake
So
when he
the
hit the
guy
sergeant
hit
and let
the
her get him a
cop
year.
so they'd lock
As far
him
as the
up so he'll
department's
be
concerned,
safe
at least
from
it's a
Lon
small
Chaney's
victory.
character.
If my hunch is right,
And there is
Lowe
like, well,
won't
let's
want
let
to be
him
on
go.
the streets with the butcher looking for him. And he may
Oh, I
talk,
see.
talk a lot. Enough maybe for us to get rid of him permanently. Even lead us to the butcher.
If he's frightened enough, that might work. But if it doesn't... No, Dick, I'm not going to release him. I want him out of my way
Yeah,
so
Dick
bad I can taste
Jason,
it.
I'm not gonna release
bad
him.
enough to be responsible for getting him killed.
The good thing about that, Captain, is the fact we know it, but Lowe doesn't.
Let's give it a try.
All right, Lowe. Come on out.
You're free to go.
I think you'll find everything in there. You're free to go, Mr. Lowell.
Wait a minute. Who do you think you're kidding? You arrested me for assaulting an officer. Court, I'll plead
Lock
guilty.
me up. Lock me
With
up.
luck, I might get off with 6 months.
For a lawyer, you're forgetting a very important point. If no charge is made, there's no trial. It was a tough day for everyone. We figured your nerves were on edge, and when you threw the punch, you didn't know what you were doing.
This is what we call
I've squared everything with the
get
sergeant.
out of jail
It's all
free
over,
card.
all forgotten.
Everybody gets one.
He's getting like kicked out of jail.
Simply because I wanted a record of our conversation at the time of your release.
All right, out.
Okay,
Get
let's
out.
go.
Oh, wait a minute. Once out on those streets and I'm a dead man.
I want in.
You let me go, you'll be responsible for murder.
Oh, come off it, Lo. You're imagining things.
You know the butcher threatened to kill me. You set me free, he'll do it.
Well, that's just a risk we'll have to take. But the way I look at it, Mr. Lowell, you'll be okay.
Look, Captain,
We'll
I'll make a
just
deal
chalk your death
You
up
keep
to
me here and I'll tell you how to recover the money.
Maybe
even catch the butcher.
No deals,
case,
Lowell.
solved,
You'll probably tell us
because
anything
That's
just to
how
stall
we're
for
gonna catch
time.
the killer. As long as we catch
Come on, let's get out of here.
Now, wait a minute.
Your death will have been worth it.
All right. I'll tell you the truth.
I love how he
Start
said,
taking this
I'm a
time.
dead man, and they said that's a risk we're willing to take.
I, Paul Lowe, hired Butcher Benton, Squeamy Ellis, and Joe Maselli to
So I
pull
think
off
this
the
is
armored
where
car holdup.
it changed in the script.
And then Lowe
he didn't
continued with his
confess
confession.
like that.
He
like,
told us about
Butcher
finding
actually
the man.
breaks in and
He showed us
kills
the
him.
exact location of where
And
the
then they
butcher
cut
had
it.
hidden the stolen
They
payroll.
filmed it and then they cut
And
it.
he gave us a most important answer.
That's so
The
lame.
explanation as to how the butcher was able to elude detection. His means of escape was the sewer system beneath our city.
Come on, Charlie, we gotta go down into the sewer.
We're gonna trudge through the fucking shit.
All this
The
trash.
department went to work fast. Every police squad in the city was detailed to cover a specific area. Every entrance and exit to the Los Angeles city sewer system of 700 miles was covered. Captain Lauder and I, along with several other squads, headed for the entrance where, according to the map, Butcher had hidden the money.
Oh my
Our
God,
job was
is
to
that an
stop him,
unmarked police
and
car?
that made me think of one specific question.
That was
When we
like
found him, could this monster be stopped? I, for one, wasn't sure.
The car was kind of dripped out.
Yeah, it was like a Charger, man, like an unmarked Charger speeding down the road. Oh, that must be a cop. I love how there's just somebody right outside the thing, just shaking it.
Everything all set, Lieutenant?
City engineers
Shaking
mapped
the
out
car
each
back and
possible
forth.
exit. A squad of officers are spotted at every point. If the butcher can be caught, now's the time.
He's supposed to be in the sewer right here?
Yeah, he is, but that's the thing. They didn't do very good with the close-ups.
Flamethrower.
I suppose our boys have had
I
a
came
chance to
down
join our
here to
squads by
take
now.
us.
See, we have one with us here.
Have you thought about what'll happen if this doesn't work?
No. I've been praying too hard that
And then the
it will
cops try to float a little paper boat down the side, and it goes down where Lon Chaney Jr. is. And he puts clown makeup on.
Yep, he did it first. That's where Stephen
Yep.
King got it from. It's actually a sequel to one of Lon Chaney Jr.'s dad's films where he plays a clown who goes insane. So this is just, this is just the revelation coming up. You'll see the clown makeup.
Oh my god, he's got a sawed-off double-barrel shotgun. Holy shit, these cops ain't playing. He has a rocket launcher. What the
Fucking
fuck, dude?
bazookas, fucking everybody's just armed to the teeth, bro. That is the definition of armed to the teeth.
And one of them has a flamethrower.
So apparently the sewer stuff was also something they reshot. Like, they shot all the sewer stuff like twice. I don't know why. They couldn't, like, in the interviews, that's the thing, he asked these people and they don't remember why.
That's hilarious.
Or he didn't know to ask them exactly the kind of question that now it, like, is posed. And he's like, damn it, I wish I would have thought to ask that then, because now they're all dead. A lot of cool facts, though. Shout out Tom Weaver.
This is where we split up. I'll go straight ahead.
So there's like a bunch of stock footage intercut in the sewer stuff as well. That's probably stock. This is from the actual movie. Yeah, this is the other game, stock or not stock.
Stock or no stock.
Stock.
Stock. No stock.
No stock. Yeah, it is wild that he has fucking sawed off shotgun.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck, dude? How dangerous is this guy?
We'll have to backtrack.
I don't care if there's some criminal's unregistered weapon. This thing looks sick as hell and I'm using it.
I'm taking it. I'm taking the fucking gun.
I don't need to sign any paperwork. I don't need to sign this out. I own this now. I mean, Chaney is really good at communicating emotions with his face. Like, I get twist money. My gun. Hashtag. Yeah, is that your preferred style?
Hashtag totally my gun.
For first person.
I'm taking the fucking gun. I'm taking the fucking gun.
See, he didn't get it at the police station. It was like a video game. It was like in the sewer. He like found another crate and walked up to it, and then the shotgun just appeared, and then he was able to select.
Yeah, it was hovering in midair, and he walked over, and then he had it.
Right.
The bazooka is cracking me up, dude. Like, what are you gonna do?
I didn't have it.
Oh, he's gonna shoot it. Okay.
Oh shit. I'm fine. I'm indestructible.
I'm good.
Now why don't you go join a carnival?
Here's the money.
And now they've got the money. It's, you know. Oh my god.
And the flamethrower. I get it. The whole idea is to show how indestructible he is.
Right.
By just throwing all this shit at him.
Hey, at least they're trying to deliver on the title.
Flamethrower's hurting him though.
It is. It's definitely a burn on him.
He's burnt up now.
All burnt up.
He's super hot.
So like that was one thing in the book. They weren't quite sure who did the makeup for him in these scenes, and they think that he might have done the makeup himself because Lon Chaney Jr. was skilled at makeup. He learned from his father. It's not great makeup, but it's makeup. I mean, it's low budget. They shot this for like $60,000, I think.
Oh, look, a power receiving station.
Yeah. Wouldn't you know? The sewer and the power receiving station and the mad scientist lab. It's like a serial. It's just all located in like a triangle.
High voltage. How did that hurt him if he's indestructible? That's what I don't get.
That is a very good question. It's not like it wore off or like, you know, I don't know. Like,
yeah, he's burnt.
He's all burned up.
He went to Auburn the way he's all burned up. False advertising. That's what I'm saying, sweet.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we are at the very end of the movie. It's
bullshit.
Gotta start getting destructible at some point. But it'd be good if there was a reason.
Oh, he's giving the God spot. He's got a God spot up here.
So like, there's some pretty good cinematography at work here, actually. The guy who shot it, Jack Russell, that's his name, Jack Russell. He actually was going to be nominated for an Academy Award because he shot Psycho.
I saw the interview with him.
Oh really?
But yeah, he said. Arr, arr, arr.
Oh right. Yep. Famous. Right. Dog pound, he said. But the cinematographer was married to one of the screenwriters. Both screenwriters were married to cinematographers, and then one of them shot this movie. So that's, you know, that's lucky.
That's the guy who let the dogs out. Right. Yes, Jack Russell.
Jack Russell, of course.
Oh, he's gonna hit a bunch of power lines, and it's just gonna go.
Uh-oh.
I love how it's the dummy, obviously. Yeah, it's completely moving. Still.
Yeah. Oh shit! It's only a model.
Man, maybe he was destructible, huh? It was just needles, turns out.
Just only needles.
And the tremendous shock of electricity that brought the butcher back to life destroyed him. The $600,000 stolen in the armored truck.
You recording that into a...
Yes.
Case closed.
The narration was a recording the whole time.
Comments for your records.
It all makes sense.
I'm the writer of the story.
I guess that's about the size of it.
That's about the size of it.
I know how it ends because I'm the author. And he closes the book.
She'd gone.
Screwy, isn't it?
She told him she was a working girl, and she'd been away from the job too long already.
Quite a girl.
Yeah. Say, how about that time off I've got coming?
48 hours, beginning right now.
Wow.
Wow. Literally gets the weekend off.
Great. I just saw the huge case. Maybe I didn't actually do that much, but, you know, that's all I get.
You know something, Dick?
I don't get a raise.
2 days? I get 2 days? It's Friday. I already get the next 2 days off.
That rest in the hospital today really gave me a new lease on life. Now that it's over, I can't believe it actually happened.
Wow, I can't believe it happened.
The important thing is to remember it is
I can't believe it. And then she wakes up. It was all.
I suppose you'll be assigned to another case.
Oh my God! And you were there. And you were there.
It's always Wizard of Oz.
No.
Just turns into Wizard of Oz.
In fact, I decided to do something about it.
The Wicked Witch comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just about an hour ago.
Like, oh shit.
God damn it. It's always Wizard. It's like a Rickroll. Just every movie turns into Wizard of Oz at the end.
My wife would take up all of your time.
Even if I wanted to say no, I couldn't. You're not supposed to say no to a detective.
I figured that too.
Oh my God. So what, now they're engaged out of nowhere? Alright.
Wow, okay. That was a fast wrap up.
Well, yes. I mean, to be fair, this actually, the studio that released this actually is just was the latest iteration of Monogram, the Poverty Row studio that did the Lugosi movies. Like so that's really, okay. It makes sense then. Yeah, that the ending would just, in a minute, they just...
And we're all wrapped up. We're good to go.
There it is. And he died, and then there was a happy ending, and then everything's okay. And it's like, all right. Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, but I think I was actually, you know, when it comes to Chaney's performance, that was like, you know, I think they utilized him pretty well, all things considered. You know, when you think about other later movies, not really utilizing him much at all. Getting close-ups, having him throw people around. I mean, that's fun. You can tell he's having fun, you know? I mean, again, if the script called for him to, like, fight, he was he was really gonna fight. Like
He said, I'm fighting. It's not going to be part of the movie either. I'm fighting somebody on this fucking set.
There's a great bit in no, he did. There are like stories of him like getting in fight, almost attacking people. Like there's like a guy that was his drinking buddy at the Universal lot, and they would get drunk and fight each other. Like, and they would destroy their dressing rooms, but they were friends. Like, it wasn't like, it was like, all right, we're hammered all together. You know, it wasn't like they were actually fighting. That was like, Lon Chaney Jr. was like,
this man is wild. Yes,
he gets kind of a reputation for like, because of that wild behavior of he's not really taken seriously. But I mean, his performances to me have always been effective. I've always enjoyed them. Even tonight, I mean, it really doesn't seem like he's doing much. But I mean, again, we've seen Lugosi and other people do a lot less. So it's, I mean,
this was all right. I mean, as far as like where they just put like, it definitely wasn't Karloff at the end of his career.
No, yes, we've gotten a taste of that, and I mean, that was really kind of sad, and and I mean, again, the end of Chaney's like working for Al Adamson. I mean, that's really sad. That's worse than Karloff and Snake People. But like, even that was like, obviously, like the man was having to like take oxygen in between every scene. Like, he couldn't really move around. Like, he had to sit in a chair the whole time. I mean, that's painful. And but I mean, these guys were like working actors. They were not going to stop for anything. They were like very dedicated to the craft. And Chaney really, like, he believed in, even though he wasn't like necessarily crazy about it, like he really believed in what he was doing. And like, I saw an interview with the director of Spider Baby. I don't know how true this is, but he was like, like Chaney complained that he was better than Karloff. He was better than Karloff, and he didn't understand why, everybody loved Karloff, because he's like, I'm better. And I thought that was kind of wild, because I don't know that I would necessarily say that Chaney's better. But like, if you're just looking for a brute force monster, sure. But if you're looking for a monster with a little bit more, I mean, again, like, you look at this Frankenstein on my shirt, full face. Like, Karloff is like very thin, like cheeks sunken in, like, they're both just you're getting two different kinds of monsters with the two different kind of actors. And again, that's why Chaney's signature is the Wolfman, because it's just a fucking beast that is just ripping people apart. I mean, it's like, he was able to put a lot of energy into that under full makeup, like being covered in hair, and then just, giving that wild-eyed look, which he did a lot of tonight, not in a lot of makeup, but full wild eyes.
In the same location, even though it was supposed to be different locations.
Yeah, it was just like the background was just lit differently each time to kind of try to match it. But you could tell it was not the same. And I mean, that's obviously, again, this is a low budget, very cheap production. And again, like, all the people that were working on it were kind of friends in the industry, and they would all work together multiple times. And the writers and director made another movie after this that's public domain that we'll get to watch, a horror movie called Monstrosity, or I think it's also called The Atomic Brain. I think that's another title for it. And it's apparently the director, Jack Pollocksfin, it's the worst movie I ever did. So
wow,
yeah. So we'll be in for a treat when we get to see that. The Atomic Brain would be lit. I agree, Sweet Feet. I would I don't think I'd need sunglasses, right? I don't think I could just be around it. Maybe some kind of atomic suit, maybe. Also, I wouldn't want to be around the radiation, probably. But that's the way it goes. But yeah, I mean, it was a cheap movie, and you know, even though it says Allied Artists, it still comes from a studio that was essentially like Poverty Row. And, you know, I mean, if they could get one of these horror stars and put their name on a poster, the movie didn't have to be great. It just had to be a movie. But
hey, it's a movie. Fuck it.
Right. Yeah, and fuck it. We just got to pump it out and make the money and make the next movie. I mean,
yeah, just throw him in there for 2 seconds and then put his name on the cover. Fuck it.
I mean, it really, again, like the you guys, you remember the gorilla with, you know, Bela Lugosi is kind of like, you know,
yeah,
put up there, and then he's in there for like a minute. You know, I mean,
yeah,
more than a minute, but not, you know, he's not like. I mean, it's the Ritz Brothers show. Let's not, you know.
Who are you? I'm me. I'm you. No, you're me, and I'm you. And who's on first?
You. Yeah. You know, lest we forget the Ritz Brothers, who also worked with Al Adamson, and like for their last thing is really sad. Did we see that trailer for Blazing Stewardesses where they're like being all hammy, and it's just really weird because
I think we did, yeah.
I think we did.
What's on second? Yes, Sweet Pea.
I don't know who's on third. Yeah, I mean,
well, that's what I'm asking you.
No, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Gotta love it. Yeah, too bad. Yeah, there is at least one public domain Abbott and Costello film, but it's not horror, and I hate it. It's Abbott and Costello, Jack and the Beanstalk, and it's like, there's musical numbers, and
I'm going up the beanstalk. You're stalking your bean when you're beanstalking.
It's just them doing their shtick, and it's, you know, but then there's like musical numbers, and it's directed by the like horror. It is directed by a horror movie director, but it's the one that I don't like, that I've complained about before, that did just a bunch of terrible She-Wolf of London, which I hate, and he did Hillbillies in a Haunted House, which we saw the trailer for. So I don't know, the Chaney connection. And yeah, and like speaking of, you know, talking about Chaney, talking about Karloff, talking about the Wolfman, and Monogram, that takes us to next week's movie. It's a 1940 Monogram film starring Boris Karloff entitled The Ape.
That's what he's gonna sound like.
Yes. Well, yes. I mean, it's a mad scientist movie. It's Ape Core, obviously. It's Poverty Row. It's checking a lot of boxes.
Yes.
Again, and we are keeping the heavy hitting horror stars, like, you know, they're still up at bat, you know. We had Chaney tonight. We've got Karloff next week. I won't give away I mean, obviously we're ending with Lugosi, and then, you know, you'll see.
We got some heavy hitters, bro. We got hitters out here.
We do. We got some, you know, they're at bat, and they really swing, and when they really connect, man, out of the park. That's not always what we get with these public domain films, but, you know, we get like at least a second base, you know. Sometimes it's not always a full home run.
On this stream, we at least get to second base.
At least, we hope.
Yeah.
We should be so lucky.
Yes.
But yeah, The Ape is, you know, again, like, it's one of the few times that Karloff did a Poverty Row movie, you know, because obviously it was very below him. But he, you know, he did it. And, you know, right around the same time that Lugosi was getting into it, Karloff, like, Universal said, all right, bye, Karloff, bye, Lugosi, hello, Lon Chaney Jr. And so then Karloff's like, all right, well, I'll go do The Ape for Monogram, just a cool few $1,000s in my pocket. In my, you know, the pocket of my
$600,000.
600. That's where the money went, huh? Should have known.
Yeah.
Should have known. But that'll be fun. Join us next week for that. As always, Wednesdays, we're wrapping up Flash Gordon Conquers the Universe. We are on the last 3 episodes. So it's getting pretty hairy. You know, not as hairy as the Flash Gordon parody porno from the 70s, but that's, you know. I will show that trailer, one of the clean trailer in one of the, you know, last few minisodes. Just, you know, probably the last one. We'll save it for that, right? Why not? We'll make a huge deal about that and not the fact that it's the finale of Flash Gordon, because we all know how it's going to end, so it's not.
Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon. Wait, are you saying Flash or Flesh? What is that? I can't...
What is going on here? Yeah, Flash Gordon.
Yeah. You're not supposed to tell. Yeah, no, I mean, it's been good. Things were definitely heating up at the end of the last episode. I mean, they're always heating up because usually there's some kind of fiery pit or some kind of explosion or some kind of something that Flash is falling into. So, you know, it's always hot. But you know, I think we're picking up steam at least. So it's exciting. We're on the, yeah, you can hear the train rolling right outside Fresh's. He doesn't have a window because he lives right in the train station.
Yeah, I'm actually, I live in the bathroom. I'm coming from the bathroom of the train station.
You've upgraded to the bathroom now. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, the other guy that was in the stall finally OD'd, so now I get the stall.
Oh no, Jesus. Well, yeah. I guess if space opens up, you know. One man's misfortune is another man's
and life
gain.
gives you lemons. Yeah, exactly. So I'm moving on up now.
Moving on. You're seriously. Congratulations. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So we're wrapping up season 4. You know, we're moving on up. We're moving on up to season 5. That's where we're headed. So it's exciting. That'll be big. We'll get, I mean, again, so many great public domain horror movies we haven't even begun to think about yet. Night of the Living Dead. And now I that's the only one that I can name right now, but there's still a lot of great ones.
The way that the pitch of your voice went up, it sounded like there was more.
There should be, but of course, Night of the Living Dead. Oh, there's Carnival of Souls. There's like I've shuffled so many around that I had House on Haunted Hill we haven't seen yet. If I really take like the time to think about it, I might come up with a billion. Don't worry.
Let's watch some new movies. Fuck it.
If you want to just throw caution to the wind, and I mean, our super license, we haven't tested it, but it should be good for it, right?
Yeah, I think we'll be all right to watch these new movies that are coming out next week.
Yeah, I mean, I know that our audience is dying to see, you know, an advanced screening of the new Scream film.
Yeah.
6 Scream, I don't know. The other one was, you know, that they called it was Scream 5, but like all the people making it were calling it 5 Cream because the poster is like the S was a 5.
Scream. 5 Cream.
5 Cream. So
you don't have to say it like
Scream.
that.
Well, that's
5 Cream.
Yeah, that's how they said it. Yeah.
So just say Scream. They're trying to spell it Scream.
Yeah, no.
You're not trying to put
have
5
the 5 in there. The 5 is important.
5 Cream.
Yeah. That's some great modern horror trivia for you there. We got all decades, all that. Not as good. Me, not as good with the newer ones, but I read. I check some things out.
I'm up on things. Okay.
I'm on the socials, and speaking of, we all are. You can find us on all the socials at Scream Stream Show. Not all. I shouldn't say all. I've talked about no Facebook. No, you know, that's a whole other story.
Yeah. The horror story that we can't do a stream on.
Yeah, seriously. I just need a stream just to rant about that. A whole separate stream. I'll save my material for then.
Stream.
Right. Yeah. The Scream stream grievance stream. where I just air all my grievances about copyright disputes and
here's what else I hate.
And you know what really grinds my gears? No, you can find Fresh Rogan over on all them socials at Fresh Rogan, correct?
Yes, sir.
You got anything? You got any special content we should be on the lookout for? Anything?
Nothing anytime soon, but I am staying slummed up. So.
Oh my God, I meant to talk about that at the beginning of the episode, and I meant to like prepare a slide to show us, but that's perfect, Fresh. Speaking of our socials, so if you saw the Phantom Carriage episode that we did, you'll know that the slum, or I guess sloom, maybe that's how they say it over there.
The slum station.
The slum station. These armbands that they were wearing in the Swedish Salvation Army dwelling. We have a side-by-side comparison on our Twitter page of a screenshot from the film, the slum armband. It's not the easiest to find a screenshot that looks clear of the armband, but we got the best one I could find. And then Fresh's beautiful, beautiful armband, which he custom ordered himself. And I do want to know, we do want to know here on the stream, who wore it better. I should have actually made a poll, and because I really do want answers. Because
ain't no point making a poll because you know it was me. You know I wore it better.
I know it was you. And we don't even have to see your face to just,
That's right. Yeah, I'm slummed up, baby.
We're all slummed up. And so, yeah. So please go to our Twitter page and you will see his armband in all its glory. He's dripping. It is a sight to behold. So
I'm dripped up. You know what I'm saying?
Dripped up.
They can't stop me.
He is unstoppable. Some might say indestructible.
I'm an indestructible kind of man.
And there it is. There it is. Well, anything before we sign off tonight, Fresh?
I got nothing.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you guys so much for joining us. As always, thank you, Fresh. As always, until next week, sweet screams, everybody.
Creep tight into all a good fright.
We had to do it. It's just, we miss you, Evan.